on your particular branch of the site. And we're also still looking for people who want to be focalizers and who want to manage the different sites with the ultimate aim of creating communities, actual physical communities in different parts of the world that follow the same esoteric teaching principles. This is going to become very, very, very hot later on this year. We are anticipating that toward the end of the year and the beginning of next year, the interest in self-organizing communities is going to just increase massively, exponentially, double exponentially. That's why we're getting ready now. Our stats are already going up like a jet plane. And it's not even that time yet. But when things start to really hit toward the end of this year and next year, I mean, we're going to have literally thousands of people coming to our site. So we are really going to need help managing this growth. I think the thing that really concerns me the most is that I saw something similar happen in ISKCON when they had like runaway growth, just incredible, tremendous growth. But they did not have the infrastructure to handle that growth and keep quality control. And because of that, then a lot of deviation occurred from the original teaching. And so, you know, we already have some problems with that. Some people think this esoteric teaching is something you can just jump into, you know, like the church down at the corner. You just go to a pep rally one Sunday afternoon and then boom, you're born again, and the next thing you know, you're minister. Well, it doesn't quite work that way with the esoteric teaching. It takes a long time to actually master the esoteric teaching. You can't do it in a few weeks. You know, a lot of people want to have a prominent position in their community, in their religious community or whatever. But in our case, we have to make sure that the people who accept leadership positions are actually qualified for those positions. And if they're not, then, you know, we have to ask them to step down or step aside and let someone more qualified take over. It's not easy to learn this esoteric teaching. You know, I wish I could just say, yeah, just chant Hare Krishna, take prasadam, and if you get a chance, you know, read some books. And like, no. It's absolutely necessary for all of our students to study Srila Prabhupada's books very carefully and to look up all their misunderstood terms in the dictionary. You're going to hear me say this 500 times before you actually believe it. How long did it take you to believe it?
550 times?
Yeah. About a year, wasn't it?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That the source of our ignorance is our misunderstanding of the meanings of, well, all of our experience. This is the actual cause of our suffering, because we misunderstand the meaning of our experience. And our experience includes symbols and words. And the meaning of things is always dependent on the relationship between content and context. So if you have the proper meanings, the proper definitions of the words and symbols that we use to communicate, then you can understand the meaning, what we're talking about. Otherwise, you're going to speculate some other meaning, and you're going to misunderstand what we're talking about, and you won't be able to duplicate this teaching. The first step in understanding anything, any teaching, but especially this esoteric teaching, is to duplicate the philosophy, to duplicate the teaching, to make a copy of the teaching, of the meaning of the teaching in your own mind. And how can you do that if you're using different definitions for the words that we use in describing it. And it's not the big words that are really the problem. You know, if I start talking about ontology and epistemology, everybody knows they don't know what those mean. You should go look them up. But the real problem is that the little words, like for, and, such, with, up, you know, those little words have so many different definitions that unless you know which one to pick in a particular sentence, you may get the whole meaning wrong, because those words specify the relationships between the other words. See? So, you know, if I have two objects, let's get two objects. Here we go. I have two objects, right? And here they are in one relationship, right? And now here they are in a completely different relationship. Those two relationships have different meanings. So if you get the meaning of the little relationship words incorrect, if you guess and you get the wrong definition, then you may say, put them this way, or that way, or this way, or the other way. Well, which way are we talking about? Which relationship are we talking about exactly? I mean, it's just a book and a piece of paper. It's not too important. But when we start talking about your soul, then it starts to get really important. That you have the right idea, that you have the right concept of the meaning of this teaching. So we use standard dictionary definitions for all the words that we use to describe this teaching. We don't make any special definitions, and the reason we do that is because we don't want anyone to misunderstand what we're talking about. Now, there are some concepts in this teaching that don't have any Western language definitions, and so we have to make up special phrases like Supreme Personality of Godhead. Or we have to use Sanskrit words like karma, because there is no word in the English language that has the same meaning. So somehow or other, we string together these explanations, and if you use the dictionary and you look them up, you can follow them. Otherwise, what will happen is you will think that you understand this teaching, but you actually don't understand. Or you understand some different way. Somebody was saying that the looking up words and studying scriptures and memorizing philosophy and things like that are material. But when we're dealing with the absolute truth, when we're dealing with Vedic literatures, the esoteric teaching, nothing is material because it's all transcendental sound vibration. You read one of the scriptures, like let's say Bhagavad-gītā, and every other verse is like, Krishna said something or other, or Krishna did this, or, you know, Krishna and his devotee are having a conversation. This is the meaning of Bhagavad-gītā. So, because Krishna is the Supreme Personality of Godhead, nothing he does or says is material. He's completely transcendental. So studying his words, or the explanation of the meaning of his words, is never material. Always transcendental. Because it's spiritual sound vibration. Transcendental sound vibration. In the age of Kali, the only form of sacrifice that brings results is spiritual sound vibration, chanting the holy name of the Lord. Glorifying the Lord through transcendental sound, and that includes his philosophy. So don't think that this study is unimportant and that all we have to do is chant and that's it. That would be a very low level of practice of the esoteric teaching. Well, what is the meaning of the chant? Huh? What is the meaning of Hare Krishna? Huh? I've spent, the last 6 or 7 years doing nothing but writing and speaking and teaching about what is the meaning of Hare Krishna. I could spend the next 12 million years talking about the same subject and never reach the end. No problem at all. Lord Sankarshan, the form of the Lord who supports the planetary systems on his heads, has thousands of heads in the form of a great snake. And thousands and millions of heads and thousands of millions of mouths. He is eternally glorifying Lord Krishna.